Hi everyone, welcome back to Clay Kids and Crocs. It's Miss Olson here, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a slab mug. Here's the one we're going to be making. Come join us. We're going to make the cylinder. Looks like this. I brought a can of beans from my kitchen, and I wanted to show you the two pieces that make this up. One, you have to have a bottom to it, and two, you have to have the walls on it. Now, the circle, I'll talk about in a minute. But for now, if I were to peel this paper off, you would find a long rectangle. How long is this rectangle? How can you make something wrap all the way around? Well, remember when we learned that in math, pi times diameter equals circumference? That's when this is important. So, I have a tube here that I think is a good size. It came with a poster in it, but it is 3 inches in diameter, and I need to go about 5 inches or more high for this particular assignment of yours. That tells me that I am going to make a piece 5 inches tall and 3 inches in diameter times 3.14. So 3 times 3 is 9.14. That's going to get us about ½ an inch. I'm going to go for longer than 9.5 inches just because I want to be on the safe side. I cut out a piece of slab that is 11 inches long. I actually am going for 6, so I went for 6 inches this way, and then I rolled that circle. If you don't have a tube like this that you're going for, another thing that I found that was really handy was masking tape. That's a nice size too for the bottom. It's about 3 inches as well. So here are the things that I have. I need a something to cut with. I need my slip, and it's very handy to have something round to pick up the slab with so it doesn't flex a lot. What I want to do is create the walls around with this. So I'm going to start right now by sort of rolling this up. If your clay is super fresh, you might want to wrap it with a piece of newspaper. Mine I made last night, and so this is just helping hold it in place. You can see that I have some extra right here. This is a 90-degree angle. I am going to cut at a 45-degree angle through both pieces. If you cut through both pieces at the same time with that 45-degree angle, you will get a bevel at the back. See this bevel right here? A little bit of extra, okay? There's a bevel. Let me see if I can show this to you better. So each side has this cut to it that's a bit angled. And we've talked about beveled angles before, but being beveled means more surface area is touching. And I'm going to be bringing this around and smoothing it out. So right now, getting my slip. I think I'll switch to my other one. And I'm going to put the slip on. I'm going to score at the same time because this is a scoring tool. You can use your needle tool, it just takes a little bit longer. And then I'm going to do that over here on this side, this cut. The better you slip and score, the more likely it is to stay together. This is the weakest area of the clay. All right. So I'm going to connect these together, put it upright, And then I have to push these seams together. I stuck a little bit smaller tube inside to support as I connect these. And I can come through and do some sort of connection that, you know, shows on the outside that's connecting as well. And we'll create some sort of little pattern. I've done ones that look like it was sewn before. I can come through and smooth it out completely with my credit card or your, if you have the metal rib. It's really up to you what sort of design you'd like to do. I'm putting a little pattern here. Maybe you connect it, see if I can make that line more obvious right there. And then you take a little piece of clay right here and you do some sort of button. So just rolled a little piece of clay. I'm gonna maybe do 2 buttons right here, do a little slip on the back of this. Probably shouldn't let go of that, but quick little slip, and scratch this up, wiggle the 2 together, put my support behind here again, and then press it down a little and you get sort of a button look. I don't know if you can see that. You can see that little button. So that could be the way that you connect it. And as you're pressing down, you're also pressing that seam. So just some ideas on how to connect it. Okay, some different ideas. Now I need to get the bottom onto the walls. So it's time for slipping and scoring again. So I am taking my tool. Use your needle tool if you need to. Get your fork if you got a fork, that's even faster. And I'm going to put my slip and do the scoring at the same time. This is the bottom, so I need to do that over here as well. And then I'm going to push these 2 together. Sometimes I will make the circle even bigger than I have it right now. Tapping this down a little bit, making sure it goes on really nice and strong. And then I'm turning it over and I'm going to make sure this is connected. I connected it all with my finger, but I could come back here with my credit card here and kind of take off the edges all the way around. A little bit of extra clay. And I'm going to show you how to get a real nice rounded edge on the bottom. First you have to get all the crumbs out of the way because we're going to roll this. And I can take it like this. I need a little bit of room, so I'm going to move this out of the way. And then I'm going to roll it. It will give it a nice rounded edge. I kind of crunched it up here, but we can fix that. So let's take a look at it. So see how it has a nice rounded edge now? Come back and fix those last little things. I really want to make sure that this bottom part is not going to come off. So I'm going to roll, and it's quite tall, but I'm going to roll a little coil real thin. Okay, and then put it way down at the bottom. And then I'm going to take my needle tool and I'm just going to press this into the right place so it's right in the corner, way down here. Do that all the way around the bottom, and then I'm coming back with a paintbrush with some slip on it, and going to smooth that in so that there isn't much of a mark. That's really going to ensure that there'll be no leakage, no separation. I'm going to talk a little bit about handles. We have so many different handles, and I'm just going to show you a couple. This one, really wiggly and squiggly, goes along with the design. This is a one-fingered cup. Tom Coleman made this one, but my finger fits on the outside and kind of lifts as a fulcrum. And then this one, I can fit a lot of fingers in here, so you get to decide. Also, the person who made this put a little bit of a place for my thumb to sit if you'd like to do that. So cup handles are so different, and each person has different hands. Certain handles are more comfortable than others. I'm going to show you quickly a handle that I make a lot, and it's basically half a heart look. So I rolled out a coil. Coils are not usually the most comfortable type of handles. Our hands, when we grip, are actually sort of an oval. And so you notice all of these are not perfect coils. So I'm just going to press this one down a little bit and kind of flatten it using my ruler. There's my piece. Okay. And then I'm going to form a half a heart. This is way more clay than I need, but I'm just sort of showing you guys how to make a handle. So forming that half of a heart, and then I'm going to cut and pretend that the cup is going to attach right here for the wall. So I'm going to be cutting that same angle that the cup will be sitting at. So maybe about right here. This is probably still too long, but let's take a look at it. Here's our cup, and here's our handle. To me, that looks a little bit too long. If you like a handle like this, you can do that. But I think I'm going to go a bit shorter. So back to the needle tool. I think I'll take off this end. Now let's try that. Okay. I think that's better. I can work with that. All right. So now it's time to slip and score. This is the top part, and I'm connecting right here as it bends over and then down here. So there's a lot of surface area that I get to slip and score. I usually get my cup handle a little bit wet with the slip, and then I will hold up the handle and just sort of go, is that the right place? Is it straight? Can I usually bend this a little bit more. Does it look right? When I pull away, you can see the wetness on the cup. That's where I need to make my marks while I slip and score. So that's why I like to do it on the handle first and put it up. Now we can make these marks a little bit better. And I connect the top first. My finger is behind on the inside, and then I'm pressing with my thumb. And then I'm going to go down in here and do the same thing down here before I press. Is it straight? Looks straight. And straight here. Now if you have really fresh clay, you may have to wait until it is strong enough, because this weight of the handle can pull it. So you may need to either blow dry it or wait for 30-40 minutes, depends on your weather where you're at, to see if you can get a little stiffness into the clay. Could take this extra piece right here, make some sort of little thumb handle like this one here. It's really up to you. Sometimes I'll do a little leaf, or sometimes at Christmas I will do a light bulb, like a Christmas light. And All sorts of little things, maybe a little bird, something like that. You could do the back of a bird and kind of sitting down there. One of the last things I want to talk about is the rim. The rim is where you're going to be putting your mouth, and you want to make it really comfortable. I keep my pieces a little bit thinner, under 1/4 of an inch, because I don't like feeling like I'm biting something. That's what it feels like in my mouth when it's too thick. And then you really need to come back here and round this edge so it's not sharp corners when you use your needle tool. So I've spent some time, I put a little bit of water up here and really rounded this. I may take it even just a little bit thinner. You want it rounded for another reason. When glaze goes on it, glaze runs off edges. So if it's round, the glaze will just stay over the whole rim instead of running away from the sharp edges. And that's how to make a slab mug. You can adjust the height if you'd like, make it shorter, adjust the handle, all up to you. Get creative and have fun.